So what do? I don't know. I haven't decided, but that's where I'm at. Good morning. So I wanted to give you a follow-up on all the things that have been happening in the ballet world in our house. So Ireland, like I said, was part of Swan Lake. At least I think I've updated you on that. And for the last almost 3 months, she has been making bacon. So don't mind the noise in the background.
Making bacon.
I'm making bacon. Making bacon, son.
Making bacon. Making bacon pancakes.
Anyway, she has been rehearsing and getting ready. Their studio has, and she actually got a part in Swan Lake as part of the waltz. So that's Act 1, and they brought in professional ballet dancers to do the part of Siegfried and Odette / Odile. And it was so, no, the grease is kind of, I'll let you flip the one on that end maybe. It's wanting to help me with the bacon, but the grease is kind of sloppy. I'm using a griddle. No, don't already another one. I'll give you these ones, babe. Anyway, hold on. Ooh. So watch me. And it's kind of spitting a little bit. It's
spitting a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the heat down. Okay. We're trying to cook bacon here and not get. Sure, come on over.
So, of course, if you guys didn't know, here, can I just show them the table of the RC cars?
Yes.
Okay.
You ready for this table? Be prepared.
So, me and my dad have been doing RC cars, and we've all been all over eBay and stuff looking for RC cars. This is what the table looks like right now. So, this is my grandpa's RC car that we're fixing, and we just got this like 1990s RC car and stuff. But then I went and I showed my grandpa. We would have had this done, but of course one of the things decided it was gonna be weird, and every time we'd hit the gas, the tire would roll off. So we've been working on that for probably 4 months. So then, me and my dad were grilling one day, and he accidentally slipped up, and he was like, yeah, just remember, you gotta get his car done or else you're not getting your RC car. And he's like, you wanna know something funny about this?
What?
He lost one of the blue screws. So you can see these 2 blue screws, right? These 2 are blue, and then there's one black one.
Oh, you know what? I have some nail polish. You could probably color the screw blue if you wanted.
I might just keep it black. But yeah, this is my body, and of course there's a hole. I've had this thing for 3 days, and of course for the 3rd day I had it, of course I'm gonna go grab the wing. This is the body. It used to have a wing, of course. This is the wing. This is gone. The whole wing's demolished. But yeah, it's my RC car for you. I messed this thing up pretty bad.
I'm chewing bacon. Had to test it out, make sure it's good. Nice and crunchy. Anyway, so, yes, as you can tell, we've had all kinds of stuff going on with the RC stuff in our house. It's been, everybody in the house is getting into them, and outside of the house. Grandpa Boss. They've been racing RC cars. So, but it's good. It's a good hobby. It's definitely kept kids off of video games, which is a plus. Not that I mind video games, because I don't. But I like to see them obviously doing other things than video games. So, yeah, it's been nice. It's kept them off of the video games. So, anyway, Ireland. Let me turn this fan off. I don't need it on now. It was smoking a little bit in here, but it seems to be okay now. Anyway, Ireland, they did a beautiful job on Swan Lake. It was so professional, and obviously they did have the main male and female parts of Odette, Odile, and I think is it Siegfried? those main parts were done by professional dancers. But these kids, I mean, they're kids, but you know, they've been doing ballet for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they just, it was a beautiful production, just beautiful. They did such a great job, you know, and they practiced for months and months. I think 3 months they put into rehearsing for this before they ever put the production on, and they just did a lovely job. Anyway, so that is coming to its conclusion. I think she's going to possibly, audition for a play coming up here, depending on where that falls, because Ireland is going out of town. She got accepted, and I don't know if I showed you all of the footage, but I will try to put that in maybe here if I didn't already show it to you. And we weren't sure at the time when we told her about it, because as I went to, she got accepted, she had to audition. The day we went to put her into the classes and get her signed, or not classes, get her signed up for this summer intensive program, there was a wait list. And I was like, oh no, because we were supposed to have till a certain time to do it. Well, here they had just had some stuff happen with, because she'll be gone 3 weeks. She's going to actually be boarding out there. So it's going to be like a summer boarding school intensive program that she's going to, but it's a really amazing opportunity. And it's very much promoted through her dance school. When I talked to her teacher, who has been Ireland's instructor since she first started ballet, she said it's an amazing program and she will get a lot out of it. It's definitely worth sending her. So, and she's in good hands. So it took a lot for us to decide we were going to do that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on the ballet home front. Matt finished his semester. He's done. Braxton's finishing up a class, and then I've already finished one class. I have 2 left to go. I just actually have a short story to workshop for my creative writing class. I finished my natural resource conservation class. I'm just waiting on final grades from that. And then my anthropology class, I still have 2 assignments and then some extra credit that I'm going to try to get in it. So, and I was finally able to get some dishes knocked out today. I still have a few big things on the counter that I need to get taken care of, but all in all, it's not too bad in here. I have a mess right now for making breakfast. But all in all, it's pretty good. I've got a couple of roasters I need to take care of. When I got up this morning, because we had such a busy weekend with Swan Lake, I looked at the kitchen and I'm like, oh, there were like dishes piled in the sink, and I'm like, oh, it's so, and then I just thought to myself, I thought, you know what, just knock out a load of dishes and you'll be fine. And I did, and really, there wasn't as much as I thought, and I could throw in another load here later. I'm going to tackle my assignments first. I'm not going to do another thing housework-wise after I get this food cooked. I'm going to go take care of school. So I will update you a little later and let you know how far I've gotten. I'm working on, for my anthropology class, an ethno-profile of the Cornish people of Cornwall, England. And I actually have a writer friend who is from there, or who lives there. And so she did an interview for me as a first person perspective of someone who lives there. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. I'm excited about that. So I'll be able to add that in, a little extra piece. And we didn't have to have an interview. She actually didn't say anything about it. So I thought that would be a fun addition, and hopefully that'll add to my paper. So anyway, I'm going to finish cooking this bacon, and then I'm going to make our scramblers. All right. So in my bedroom office. Oh, look at this. I need to dust so bad. Did you see that? I don't know. You probably can't see it. Anyway. I have so much going on. So I'm working on my outline. Or not on my outline. I'm working on my ethno-profile. I have part of a short story written, so that's my final assignment besides like a course evaluation that goes to the school. And then there is like a class evaluation that our teacher has us doing. Once I get those two things done, and then I have to do some like workshopping for some of my fellow students, and then turn in my final draft of this short story that I'm writing, which, I don't know, I think I've written better work, but it'll do, I think. Anyway, I'm going to work on that again tonight, and then hopefully I'll be able to workshop that tonight. That'll take care of that class. Then I have my Ethno-profile, which I am still plugging through here, but I don't have much left of the fill-in for the references and stuff, and then I want to collect some good pictures and stuff to put on it. So that'll be done. Oh, I have reading to do, but that's okay. I'll have time to get that done. I have until the 12th to get this other assignment done. So I'm not going to stress about it. I have a couple of chapters of reading to get done, and I've got some extra credit. I have one 50-point assignment that goes with that reading. So, but I have an extension, so I'm good, and the 12th is over a week away. So, yeah, I should be okay. I should be okay. Y'all, it's getting so close. So close. Telling you, it's been a push. But it was like that with my history class. I had a big push at the end to get that done. I felt a lot of pressure this semester to get things done. But I'm coming to the end. So this is my second year on this degree, on this leg of my degree. So I have two choices here. I can either continue to take 3/4 time, and then that would put me 3 years. So I'm doing, right now I'm on the first leg of a 2-year degree. I'm actually going to go for a 4-year degree, maybe further. But if I'm looking at it in like a chunk, I will have a degree when I get to the end of this one. And it will either have taken me 3 years to get that degree, or it will take me 3.5 years. So I could do 3/4 time, and then it would take me another 1.5 years to get a 2-year degree. Or I could do full time for the next year, and then I would be done, and I would graduate in the spring. But I'm just not sure of the course load, like what I can handle. I can probably handle it, but I think I would have very limited time for the next year to do anything else but school. And then I have volunteer work that I've put in, and the kids also have their things. So that's what I'm looking at, is like, can I handle that, or do I need to just go ahead and add an extra half of a year on? So what do I do? I don't know. I haven't decided, but that's where I'm at. Right now I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what I feel like. Should I push it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel come the fall. Okay. I've since changed, showered since earlier this morning. I don't think I've done my hair though. I haven't had time. I've done nothing but really focus on taking care of my family and getting school done. It's 10:13. And I am still in the heart. I've gotten quite a bit accomplished though. I'm almost done. I'm doing celebrations, and then I need to do like traditional dress, dance, music. So I'm talking about the traditional Cornish celebration of the Abias, which is something that I had put in one of my previous papers. And now I'm going to touch on it a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to go quite as in depth on this paper. I'm just going to touch on what it is, what the meaning is behind it, and how it has its roots. Okay, good afternoon. So I have been working on this assignment for the last, I don't even know how long. Look at this. Can you see? I don't know if you can see how thick it is. Anyway, they're like front and back pages of this ethno-profile of the Cornish people that I have been working on. I'm just about done though. I am completed with everything on here on this outline. I have a comparative summary to do, consideration of the future, which I've already figured out what I'm going to put in that, a conclusion, recipe with a description of the food, and then some other info. So I want to add some, I don't know, maybe some pictures of national bird, things like that. Maybe some of their, like the Cornish national tartan, some of their other clothing I think would be good things to put in there. So yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at this point. We're getting close. I need to go shopping for flowers for the church today. So we hello guys. We went shopping last week. About a week ago we went, and we kind of looked at what was available and then took it back to everybody and then decided what flowers everybody would want. So now today we're going to go purchase them, and then next week we're going to try to plant them. So and then we need to come up with a rotation for watering for the flowers so that they last all summer and they don't die out. So that's where we're at. Conclave has begun. So just lots of prayers for that so that our cardinals can come to a decision and are guided to the decision of who our next pope will be. So it's a lot, huh? We recently went, and I don't know if I touched on this at all, we went to a memorial mass for the Pope at St. Raphael's Cathedral in Dubuque, and it has just been redone, and it is absolutely beautiful. I had never been inside the main part of it. I had been inside, like, I think it was the old church, and that's where they were having services. We went to like a music program over the winter that one of our fellow homeschool students, he was singing in. And so that was the first time I'd actually been inside. And then we attended mass at the old part of the church because it had been closed for, I want to say they said like 4 years. They'd been working on it for a long time. And I had always admired this church growing up because it has the most beautiful golden doors on the front of it. But I had never been inside, and I'd always been curious about it. And at the time, I'd never thought I was going to be Catholic. So anyway, and now that I am, I've gotten to attend mass and receive communion there. And it's definitely, it's a very beautiful church. So if you are ever in Dubuque, Iowa, and you get a chance to visit St. Raphael's Cathedral, it is so worth going into. It is absolutely beautiful. They did phenomenal work. You know, it's so new. We were there a week after they had their first like mass since it had been reopened. And you could still smell the fresh wood and everything when you walked in the place. It was just a really neat experience. So yeah, we attended a memorial mass there for the Pope because our local diocese, it would have been almost a 2-hour drive to get to go to there. So it was only 20 minutes for me to take Ireland and I over to Dubuque and get to go to mass there. So that's where we went for the memorial mass. Okay, I am going to get working on this. I have about an hour before I need to get ready. I want to brush my hair and teeth and stuff like that before I leave. So I have about an hour. I'm going to try to knock out my comparative summary in that time. And then I'd like to have the rest of this written today. So that way tomorrow I think I'm just putting on the final touches and typing it out and stuff. So that's my goal. I worked on it till midnight last night. So I have a while yet today that I could work on it and knock it out. And the hardest stuff I think is done. So, and I actually finally got my thesis. So something about me is I really struggle writing theses. I don't know how you say it. How do you say that? Somebody give me the phonetic down below. Anyway, I have a hard time writing a thesis. There, that's how we'll say it. I have a hard time writing a thesis. And so I kind of put it off, and then I needed to write about what made them distinct. So I left those two pieces to the side until I had written more of my stuff, and then I finally came up with one. And here's the way I did mine. So I have like these sections. Section 1, which was the introduction, 2 is the physical environment, so on and so forth. So what I did was I put like introduction, and then I had parts. So like under section 1 was like the purpose of the project, my reason for choosing the Cornish people, what made them unique, and the thesis statement. So I had 4 sections, A, B, C, D. So that's what I did when I was writing this, is I took that outline, and this is kind of how I do my actual writing process when I'm writing a book. Is I put on the top 1 introduction, and then I put A, purpose. And then I went ahead and filled in, and then I was ready to do B, the why I chose it, but then I wasn't ready to do C and D, the thesis and what makes them unique. So I left it to where I could put C here. When I had it written, I could just attach it, and D. And so that's how I kind of did my writing process. And I did the same thing. Oh, I can mark it at the top too. So this was one of the other things I did, is I put like a red check mark if this section 1 was completed. So I finally completed that today. So I have the physical environment and all of its pieces and parts are done. I have the history of the Cornish, all those pieces and parts done. And then I have the social environment and organization. I think those are all done too. Did I not check mark those off? Yeah, so those are done. They can be check marked. They're completed. But see, it's a nice little helper for me to say, oh, did I miss something on this? And then I just finished the cultural beliefs, rituals, and customs. So I can mark that section as being 100% completed, and I know I can piece this together and type it up, and I don't have to worry about it because everything is in there. So that's kind of how I worked my way through this Ethno-profile. I still have 6 sections, one of which is the bibliography page, which is pretty much done. I've been doing it as I go. I just need to take out like some of my own notations that I put on there, and then that one will be done and ready to go. But I'm gonna wait till the very end in case I have a few more things to add in, or I want to reference back. I left a couple of reference pieces at the top in case I needed to go back to those and find more information, because they were really good source material to help me find like pieces and parts that I could dive in. Something I do want to add is I think I want to add about the Tommyknockers in there. And I want to do that because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie by Stephen King about the Tommyknockers, but those are actually Cornish superstition. The Tommyknockers are. So I thought I might put those in there because I found that really interesting when I was reading through, like, I actually found it when I was trying to find traditional clothing for the Cornish, and it was talking about how one of the things is there was a period of time where you could really tell what people did for a living in Cornwall by the way they dressed. So the mining culture, they had their own form of dress. and the fishing culture. They had their own form of dress for both men and women. And so I really delved deep into like the bow maidens and the fisher wives, which does not mean that they were married to a fisherman. It actually meant that they went door to door selling fish. They were called fisher wives. But as I was looking into the miners' clothing, the male miners' clothing, it was talking about the Tommyknockers. And I was like, I had put different things up, like they had giants and mermaids, which would make sense living near the ocean with tales of mermaids, you know. But they also had, and they had piskies, which were sort of like a pixie. But they also have Tommyknockers in their superstition. And so I want to add something in about the Tommyknockers because that's something that's really, really Cornish, I feel. Like, yeah, I feel like it'll do well within this ethno-profile page. So I'm getting closer, and this is probably my biggest piece of work I have yet to get done for this semester. I have a couple other, I have one larger assignment yet that's not larger than this one I'm working on. It's medium size, and then my smaller big assignment for my writing class. So, and then just a couple of pieces of extra credit that I'd like to pop in. I have about 5 days. I have 1 day. Well, today, I have about a day and a half to finish this. That should be done. And then I have, what did I say, 5 days? About 5 days to complete all of the rest of my, well, no, one of my assignments is actually due sooner than that. It's due in 4 days, but I should have that done. I would think by tomorrow I'll be able to get that turned in, or the next day. I hope so, because it needs to be workshopped. So I have part of it written, but I actually did. I was supposed to change the perspective that I was writing in. For some reason, I had it stuck in my head that I had turned in a different story for the previous project. And so when I went and looked back, I realized that wasn't it. It was a different one that I had turned in for our first short story. And the point of view that I was writing in, it was the same as I'm doing now. And that was one of the specific requirements for this assignment, was to write in a different point of view. So now I'm going to backtrack and write it from a different perspective. So, okay. I'm going to get to writing. Get this done. I've got about 45 minutes before I need to get ready to leave. So I will talk to you soon, update you. I know this has been long, but I just want to kind of keep you guys updated and let you know where we're at and why we don't have a ton of video footage out right now, or a ton of vlogs out right now, but we want to keep you updated on what's been going on and bring you along still for our love jar. And this is part of it. This is the season of life that we are in right now, and how we're filling up our love jar with lots and lots and lots of education.